Okay, so in this video I'm actually going to build some basic HTML structure. So I'm going to have to quickly run through the initial steps that you would normally do. So you'd normally do some research, learn how to build a website as my product. I've done some research out that people, maybe young people, maybe 10 to 17 years old, want to know some good steps to how to build a website. I've got a website name. I've bought QuickWebsite.com. I don't actually know if that's a real website or not, so please, I apologise if you own QuickWebsite.com and you're trying to make a living, but that's just an example I gave. I just came up off the top of my head, but you would hopefully do a bit more research about what you're doing. Then from there, then I've done some market research. I picked some sort of basic sort of color scheme, a background idea. I'm going to have maybe a picture of a world in my background, sort of faded in, so that people sort of get the idea that it's all around the world. People are learning HTML, and maybe I could have some sort of blue. Maybe I'm going for maybe blue, a blue background. Now, once I've got the idea of the background and so on, then I can start putting together a wireframe and I can start thinking about the design. And so my design, I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm going to have a header. I'm going to have a simple logo. I'm going to have a telephone number, some pictures of some happy people learning HTML, and then I'm going to have a menu here, because this is where I like menus. I think that's where they should be, up here at the top, where people can see them nice and clearly. I'm going to have I'm going to make a list of my pages. I'm going to have home page with maybe an about. I'm going to have a beginner's course with maybe some. Maybe I could do a video introduction. No, I wouldn't have anything. I'll just keep it simple. Beginners, intermediate, and advanced. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be a little bit fancy, and I'm going to have all of these link to a price page. But I'm also going to have the price page on my main menu. And so all of these are going to link through to my price page here. And then I'm going to have a contact page, which is where the price then links to. So I have almost a funnel. I have a semi-funnel in my website. So people go to a page and then they sort of click next to go to the price page, and then click next to go to the contact page. I'm going to have it in this order on the menu here. Okay, and then I'm going to have a sidebar over here, nice and simple. I'm going to have maybe a Facebook page, maybe a map to where I'm located, and I'm going to have content on here, very simple content with maybe a picture up the top and a header, and then some text like that. And that's a very simple website I just want to build. So let's get started then. We've been going for 3 minutes, so let's see what we can build. Let's have a look here. So I'm going to. This is an old website. This is the first beginner website I was working on. Let's start a new website. Close that. Start a new one. And if I look back at my well, first I have to do HTML, and then I have to do a head tag, and then I have to do close head. And then I have to do body, close body, and then close HTML, and then inside the body, this is where it gets important. I'm going to have, in fact, I've probably missed something off the wireframe that usually I do miss off, because usually it's kind of as standard. You would usually have a footer, and in the footer there's some key links that you would have, but we won't talk about that at the moment. We'll just put it in there that you need to have a footer in the page. So we've got one, we've got a header, we've got 2 a menu, 3 sidebar, 4 content, 5 a footer. So we've got 5 elements. So why don't we list those 5 elements in the page? So we've got div 1. So we'll just copy that down 5 times. Oh, I need to do the copy on that. And we'll paste that down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then in each one, I'm going to, in fact, I'll do an ID on it, and I'll call this one header, and I will call we'll call this one, hang on, call this one, what's the next one? The next one is the menu, and then I'll put this one here, which is the sidebar, and then this one is the content, and then this one is the footer. Now at this point here, I'm actually going to give another little tip that makes it a lot easier when you're designing these sorts of websites. I'm going to put another element that actually surrounds the whole lot. Okay, it's called a wrapper, and it allows you to basically take everything in it and move it around, maybe shift it to the left or the right, or put it in the center. So I'm going to put a wrapper around the whole thing. It's going to be called div, and it's going to have the element with an ID wrapper, and it's going to be around the whole thing here, like this. And then I might just indent each of these just to keep it neat so we can see what we're doing. And now we've got all of the bits of content. So I might just say this is a header, this is a menu, this is a sidebar, this is a content, and this is a footer. Now, I might add just one more div to add a little bit more structure. And what I'm going to do is, because these two divs here, the sidebar and the content, are on the same kind of level, they're side by side, we really need to put them inside another box to kind of keep some structure, to structure them. So I'm going to put another box here, and it's going to be called div, and it's going to be have an ID of main, like this, so we know that it's the main section of the page, and everything inside it is going to be indented, and then we're going to have a closed div here. There we have. So now I better save it before we lose it. So save this. I'm going to put it on a new document called the real website, because it's the real one, and we're going to call it index.html, because that's important. That's the main page, the main template page. In fact, it's even better if we call it template.html to start with, and then we can create an index later. So template.html. Save that, and now we have some content. Let's save it again, and let's run it in Chrome. And at the moment, you can't really see anything. So what we're going to do is we are going to put in some CSS. That's the next step. If hopefully you've learned some CSS. So we're going to do a link. We're going to do type text CSS. And I always get this link wrong, so I better just make sure that I get the right CSS link. See, this is showing you how I would do it, because I often forget things. No, I don't want that link. I want another link here. I want something like this link here. So if I copy that now, like this, and then I put this into my code here, like that, and I want it to link to style.css. I save that, I do a new one, and I save this one and save it as save as in my real website, save it as style.css. And then what we need to do is we need 3 rules. Hang on, it's giving me skip here because of my computer is being funny with the hash key, so I just need to get the hash key here. That's the hash symbol. Let's copy that, put that in there, and now we need all the rules. So we need a rule for the header. We need a rule for what are the other rules that we need? We've got sorry, template. We need header, menu, main, sidebar. So header, I'll just put those in. Okay, so I've put in all of these rules for each of the ID elements for the template. And what I've done is just to test it all out, I've put in one simple CSS rule, push everything in the page in the wrapper down by 20 EM. So that should push it a good way down the page. And as you can see here, you can now see that everything is pushed down the page. And if we inspect these elements, you'll be able to see that the wrapper is slotted right down the page there. So we've created the basic markup. We've linked in a CSS file. We're almost there. We're creating a simple website already. So let's go to the next video and get started on the CSS.